Hello my friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today there's something interesting to talk about, but first I'm going to test out my new stove. I have a brand new MSR Pocket Rocket camping stove, and I have not used it yet, and I am looking forward to trying it out. So tonight I'm going to make, I have some Death Wish coffee, dark roast, and I don't really know anything about that brand of coffee. I mainly got it because it comes in these little instant packages, very much like the Starbucks Via packs, and they're not super expensive. I do not have an actual Death Wish, so I'm having Death Wish coffee. We'll see how that goes. And it's just starting to rain, so that's good. Be like real camping, even though we're out on the back porch. So this is very tiny and very compact. As you can see, it's folded up into this tiny little, here's for scale, you see how small that is. Comes in this cool little, almost like a Tupperware style case. We may toss this when we actually go camping because we may not, this may take up more space than we want, but it works nice. And I like it because there's enough room inside of it for me to put a lighter, because this is the Pocket Rocket 2, which does not have its own igniter. The Pocket Rocket 2 Deluxe comes with an igniter, but I didn't go for the extra because God made the Bic lighter instead. So this folds open really neat. There's a little valve. This is the on-off. These legs are this really clever double jointed fold out operation that kind of unfolds in one direction and then unfolds in another. I've tried to find videos where somebody else made a video that shows how this works, and it's very difficult to capture on film what's happening, but essentially it's double jointed. There's a hinge that goes this way and then another one on it that goes this way. So you get two axes, and so it can fold up from fully extended to down along itself. It's easier to play with it than it is to show you on video. All right, so that's fully extended, and I'm going to turn this valve to what I think is off. But if it's on, the gas will start escaping as soon as I put it on. So here's a gas canister made by Hotdevil, and it is your typical isobutane / propane blended fuel. You can buy the ones from MSR. This costs a lot less monies to get the one from Hotdevil. So we take off the cap, and if you haven't ever used these kind of fuel canisters before with any stove, they are self-sealing. So after you're done using them, you unscrew them back off and it reseals on the inside, so you can save it for next time. Don't really need to reapply this cap, but I guess it's just handy to keep anything from ever interfering with that. So I'm going to screw it on, and we're about to find out if I really did turn it off like I thought I did, because if it starts spewing gas right now like that, that means counterclockwise is on and clockwise was off. So now we know it's off. All right, very good. So before we turn that on, I do have my canteen cup to make coffee in. I have the stove attachment that comes with this, but I'm not going to use it because there's no way to use these all together. This is meant for something. Now I guess I could, fold these legs in and down, and then I could put this over the top and use it, but I don't need this for this. This is really for if you're going to make a stove fire with little twigs and tinder and stuff like that. So I'm just going to use these little legs here. Before I fill it up with water, let's just see how well does this fit on there. Yeah, that's a little precarious, but it does stay. So that's something I'm going to have to be careful with as we're cooking, because it is precarious. I don't need that falling off and ruining my coffee. So a round tin probably would work better, because these legs are all spread to a distance that this is narrow. It will stay if I think about it and very careful about where I put it. It does stay. It's just it has me a little worried. So let's make some coffee. I might hang on to that thing while I'm cooking over it. It might be safer. All right, we're going to see how long it takes as well. I've got my Timex chronometer, and we're going to, once I get it lit and I'm holding the beverage over the flame, we're going to see how long it takes to boil it. And you know what? I was really supposed to pour my coffee into the cup before the water. I failed. So you're gonna have to forgive me on that one. All right, let us full blast is like a rocket. I don't think we need full blast. Let's dial it back a little. Well, you can I could tip these up a little bit. All right, let's start our watch. Let's start our cooking. Definitely don't want to set that down. It's gonna fall. I'm gonna need to get a round cooking utensil, a round cooking pot. It's the first time I'm cooking with this coffee mug as well, so it's going to get its first discoloration on the coffee mug thing. My hand can tell that there is a lot of thermal energy coming out of this stove, I'll tell you. Lots of calories being emitted. Starting to see bubbles. That's a good thing. Starting to get some bubbles on the surface. Some steam coming off the top of the coffee. That's a good sign. Can you see that steam starting to come up? All right, and the coffee is starting to roll, which means we've hit a boil. There we go. There's my bubbles. First bubbles. Off is that way. Got to remember that. Okay. All right, we have to let that cool a bit because I am not putting my mouth on that hot coffee tin. Yeah, so I'm going to need a round cooking pot that sits on this better. Obviously, they make plenty that are meant for this and made for this. So that's going to be the trick. And I'll probably get one of the nifty titanium ones that conducts heat really well and also is the right size to store the canister. And then I can put the stove down on top of that. All right, do we take a test here? That's actually pretty good coffee. If you're looking at the color of the coffee here and thinking to yourself, it's not black, you are right. I snuck away and got some creamer. I don't mind black coffee, but I also like it with cream, and to be honest with you, it cooled it off faster so I could drink it because I'm trying to make a video here. Oh, I forgot to look at my watch, didn't I? Well, my chronometer says slightly over 5 minutes right now, but when I edit the video, I will put a stopwatch on screen before I do any edits and before I do any cuts. And that way the stopwatch will run in sync with the original duration of the video. That way when I turn off the fire, we'll be able to mark that point on the video. That's pretty decent coffee. I think I have, relatively speaking, very non-sensitive taste buds. I don't taste specific flavors unless they're very, very strong. So there may be some subtle nuances in this that I'm not picking up on, but it's not bad coffee. Does that help? Let's see, is this still hot? No. Already that's cool. Cool enough to turn those and fold them. I bet that's hot. No. Wow. That's already cooled off. Interesting. This feels very cold, which makes sense because whenever you use a propane tank, it gets cold. So last night during a web stream, the President of the United States said that the supporters of the other party are garbage. I don't like that. I'm sure I've got plenty of Republican viewers, and I'm sure I've got some Democrat viewers, probably less. Whichever party you're in, I think we can all agree that calling the people who support your political opponent garbage is not a way to unify a country. Probably not advisable. It's really strange. He went on this live web stream interview at the exact same time that Kamala Harris was giving her big closing argument speech out on the ellipse. And it's almost calculated to take viewers away from her or to interrupt her or to preempt her. Very strange. It's not the first time he's done some kind of press conference or announcement or video stream or something right as she's doing something major and important. So it's starting to seem, well, once is happenstance, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is enemy action. So we'll see if it happens a 3rd time, I suppose. But I did not wake up this morning expecting to learn that the President of the United States called half the country garbage. But here we are. It is, let's see, this is Wednesday. You'll be watching this on Friday. Well, it'll come out on Friday. You may not get to it until Saturday or Sunday or a week from now or a year from now. It's always funny when somebody makes a comment. I have another channel about motorcycles that's been going for 7 or 8 years. Somebody makes a comment today on a video that's 6 years old. It's like, yeah, here's your thumbs up. But when this video comes out, it'll be Friday. So at that point, it'll be 3 days and a wake up until the election. Now they're saying some of the most important states that'll determine the outcome won't have their results for multiple days in the future. So I guess we won't know who the president's going to be on Tuesday night or even Wednesday or Thursday. If you add up the electoral votes that are given by the states that Trump is positively sure to win and the states that Kamala is positively sure to win, both of them come in needing around 50 or so, 50 or 60 electoral votes from a collection of about 7 states that really could go either way. So everybody needs to watch really what's happening in those states. Let's see if I can remember them. Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, Florida. Just kidding. That was 6. What's the last one? I don't remember. I guess it's North Carolina. Maybe that's the one they're talking about. Pennsylvania's got so much population. Michigan has a big population. If you take either Pennsylvania and Wisconsin or Pennsylvania and Michigan, you probably got it. But you could probably lose Pennsylvania and gain the rest and still get it. It's weird. No matter where you live, and no matter what state you're in, even like I live in an extremely red state. Florida, I think in 2022 went something like 60 or 70% Republican. So wherever you live, regardless of how assured your state is, they're saying that everyone should act as if their vote is the only one that makes the difference. Your vote is the one that puts it over the top. And then there's the folks who say that this is all controlled by big, powerful people in charge and they decide what really happens. I don't think we'll ever know. But just in case voting helps, go out and do it. Just in case the elections are real, go out and do it. Just in case. All right, well, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my coffee, maybe smoke a pipe out here. It's really nice. Now that rain cooled things off a little bit. I appreciate y'all who hung around this long. This is all cool now, so I can disassemble this and it should reseal itself. So clever. I'll put this cap back on just because. Let's fold up our Pocket Rocket 2. I guess the original Pocket Rocket came out 20 years ago or something. A lot of people still have that one. Put that in here and I'll throw my little igniter bic. This is a canteen pouch that I've got my fire making kit in it. I'm going to start keeping the stove in there until I come up with the round pot situation, and then maybe the round pot will fit in here. That would be super handy. But until then, this is what we've got. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you like this kind of video, oh, a red cardinal just landed right next to me, you guys. That's the male, right? The bright one is the male. Is that right? Hey, dude. I'll have to put out some seeds for you in a little while, buddy. If you like videos like this, go ahead and subscribe and turn on notifications, because YouTube is not going to go out of their way to show them to you. After I turn on notifications for a channel I like, I usually then go ahead and click it and click all so that I get notified about all videos by that channel. So do all that, and thanks again for watching, and stick around. I will see you, as they say on YouTube, in the next video.